Hi, Neil here with Covers Camo, your source for custom seat covers. Today, we're doing the install on the 2021 Ram Rebel 1500. We're gonna put all the seat covers on, show you all the steps. Let's check this thing out. So let's get this install started. First thing that we're gonna do is grab a few things. You wanna make sure you grab your white fiber stick tool. This is gonna help tuck in the covers to a few different places to trim it out a little bit better. The other thing I recommend is a pair of gloves as well, and making sure that you kind of protect your hands throughout this. Now there's a few times that I take my gloves off, but it's nice to have them on. First thing that we're gonna do is the hard console lid cover to show you here. And this set of, or this style of seats is buckets with a hard console. Now, there are some vehicles that have a 40-20-40, so that's going to be a different install. But this is the install with the hard console. So we're just going to fit this over, get this going here. There are a few times that you gotta take the gloves off. I'm gonna move that seat back a little bit just so it gives me a little bit more space to work with on this corner. Before I do that Velcro, I'm just gonna make sure everything is fitting around where I want it to fit before I strap on that Velcro there. Okay, perfect. So I got that smoothed out there on the top now. Now I'm gonna do up this Velcro. Okay, so I was doing that Velcro wrong. So that's a probably good thing to watch out for is on these consoles. This is a kind of a tricky console where there's like two things that lift up. So there's this one right here down below, and then there's two lids right there, okay? So the console lid cover is gonna cover this top one right there. And I was wondering, what's going on here? Why wasn't it working? And it was because I had done the Velcro around this lower one. So you just need to make sure that you do the Velcro in between those two, and then it'll attach on just fine. And there's the hard console lid cover. So that one's done. We're ready to move on to the driver bucket seat. As you can see, we've already done the passenger seat here because the install is the same. So we're gonna do the driver bucket now, and the first thing that we're gonna do is remove the headrest just to get this part done. And you do that just by pushing in. There's two little pieces that you push in on the sides right there. Push those in, you lift that up, okay? Get the headrest out, just set that in the back for right now. And then we're gonna do the bottom. You need to do the bottom cover first. When you see this type of Velcro on the back side, that's the modified install, and you need to make sure you do the bottoms first when you're doing these. You have to do the bottoms first because the backrest is gonna use the bottom Velcro right there to attach in and finish the install. So this bottom has to be all fit into place again before you start the back. First thing I'm gonna do is undo these little knots right here. Undoing these are knotted up for shipping so they don't slide through the seat cover. But I'm gonna undo those right now. This is a part where I like to put my gloves on, because you start pushing this through kind of a tight spot right there. Showing you this angle right here. This is a cutout right here that needs to go around the seat belt right there. So I'm gonna put that around right now. And then I'm gonna get my straps right here ready to push through. And I'm gonna fit the cover on the front side around a little bit and use the plastic trim tool right here and get that started right there. Make sure that tucks in real nice right there. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is pass this through the seat. And again, making sure that this is looking lined up on the front right there before I do that. Okay, now that I've passed that through, we're gonna go around to the back side and pull those straps through the rest of it. Here's the back side now. We're gonna take these straps, pull these through, make sure everything finishes out pulling through here. Also, one thing I didn't mention, this flap right here, this flap, it has these elastics that are hooked up underneath the seat. You just need to reach up underneath there, reach your hands up underneath there and unhook it, and then there's these two elastics that just come off right there, and you'll reattach those once we're done with the install. But now that that's out of the way, we're gonna take this cover, pull that through. Okay, now that's through, we're gonna work on our strings. Now we're gonna pass the string through the seat, the hole in between the seat and the metal bracket on the side. And so I'm gonna take this string right here and pass this through. It's just, see if you can see that right there. I'm gonna pass it through right there. And then I'm gonna reach underneath and grab that string and pull it through. It's gonna tie off onto the other string. That should be enough for me to grab on the other side there. Now this string over here, right there, I'm gonna take this string and just pass it on the outside of the seatbelt around the back, and then we'll show you how we tie those together. Next step is to tie off these strings in the back. So again, this one I pass through right here, and this one is pretty tight, so this is gonna be my anchor. I'm not gonna wanna pull too much on this one. So really, I'm just gonna tie a loop in this one, a little noose right there. Okay, so there's that noose right there. Now this one, again, I'm not gonna pull back on that because it's pretty tight, the spot that I put it in. It's kind of up next to some metal right now. But this one right here, on this inside right here, what I did is I passed it on the outside of the seat belt, but then what I did is I went in front of this seat bracket where this is bracketed down right here. And so I'm on the front side of that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull on that just to snug it up. Again, doesn't need to be real tight. I'm just gonna pull some slack out of it. And again, you do not need much pressure on these strings. This is really for aesthetics. Just kind of hug the corners up a little bit. So don't think that you need to pull too tight. Again, what I did is I just pulled a little tighter just to get a little bit more, get that snug a little bit more. And then I'm tying this string off right here. So I just tied a knot in it right there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna loop that around again. Again, and these just need to be snug. You do not need to crank down very hard on this at all. Okay, so just a little pressure on those. Now that those strings are done, I can do these straps right here. And the first strap that I'm going to do is this middle strap. This is called the safety strap. This one is just to prevent it from ever sliding forward. And what you do with it is you bring it underneath to a solid bar or spring that's immovable underneath here. And then you bring it back to itself and you tighten it down. Okay, so I got that one tightened down now. Now what I'll do with these straps is I'm going to take this strap and pass it up to the front, and then there's buckles on the front that are going to cinch it down. Now one thing while you're doing this, raise the seat up as high as it'll go to give yourself as much space as you can to do that underneath. So I'm going to pass these up to the front and then I'll show you how the buckles on the front side. Just a quick view of where I did the safety strap, where I hooked this up. So I hooked it up right here on one of these metal bars underneath here. There's these metal springs that kind of weave in and out right here, and I ended up just putting it through this one of these. I hooked it on and then just went back to itself, and those are solid, nice solid bars or springs. That's kind of the spring that I'm talking about when I'm saying to attach that on. It's that guy right there. That's probably a better view, one of those springs right there. Now I'm putting these straps through these buckles right here on the front, and what I like to do is I like to push down on the upper seat right here as I do that. And now here's this side. Again, I'm taking that strap, putting it through that buckle, putting that strap through that buckle just like that. Again, I like to just kind of take one hand and push down while I'm compressing that a little bit right there. Same thing right there. Okay, those are looking really good right there. And now I just wanted to point out, you want to try to go as close to the seat as possible, so you're not going underneath any other bars. So like as you move the seat up and down, it's not going to restrict the seat from doing that, and it's not going to compress tightly against any electrical cables or cords. So I have that pretty close to the seat right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just take the little extra straps and just kind of loop those around and just kind of get them out of the way underneath here. And that's how you do those buckles. Driver bottom is all done now. As you can see, that's how it should finish out. Should all be nice and clean here on the front side, like that. As you can see, like that. I got it all tucked in, nice and tight on the front. These corners are just really close to the edge of the seat right there, and nice and tight fitting. So we're good with that. Now we're gonna move on to the backrest. Now we're doing the driver backrest, and we already have the headrest off. So if you don't have the headrest off, obviously you need to take it off, okay? So we're gonna take this, pull it up and over like that. And again, you have to do the bottom first for this to work right. I'm just gonna start getting this pulled down here. Now I'm gonna grab the white plastic tool here and fit it over these headrest posts. Perfect. So that's how that should, I'll just give you another quick view on. Those should finish out just like that around those headrest posts. Okay, we're gonna try to get those shoulders kind of fit down over that section there. Okay, those shoulders are feeling pretty good up there. Now what I'm gonna do is take this front felt, and this felt is gonna stick to that Velcro on that bottom seat right there. So what I'm gonna do is just pull tight and then take this and push that through the seat. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the back side, finish pulling that through, and then straighten this up a little bit more. I need to shift this cover a little bit more towards this side. I gotta shift it to the left too much. Okay, so now we've just pulled this through right here, and it's a little tricky to push that through. So if you need to, grab someone else and have you push on one end and have someone else pull on the other end. But you can get that through. And then you want to line it up. So it was initially, this was shifted over too far this way, so we pulled it over to kind of line it up a little bit better. And on the front, it's looking way better right now. What we'll do is just give this another good little pull right there, and then stick that down. So again, the Velcro that I'm sticking this down to is this Velcro down below right here that came from the bottom seat cover. We're gonna pull that, stick that down. Perfect, so that's stuck down now, and then what I'll do is I'll take this extra felt, just kind of tuck that back up, so then when this comes down, that'll be good there. Now what I'll do here is I'm gonna take this right here, and what I always do is before I finish this out, I always go to the front and check to make sure everything's looking good. And I've already done that, and things are looking good up there. So now we're gonna take this, reach underneath and hook this back onto the hooks from where we pulled it off. It's gonna reach underneath there, feel those hooks. Okay. Got one hooked on. Okay, I found the hook for the other one. Reach up here and hook this elastic back on. Okay, perfect. So those are hooked on, so now that's holding that in right there. And now this has Velcro on it right here. So what I'm gonna do here is make sure everything's lined up here on the back. And then this will stick down right here, okay, to that felt. And then these elastics, you actually don't need these elastics for today's install. So what you can do is just take that elastic and just reach underneath and hook it back onto some hooks or springs underneath there and just get them out of the way. You don't really actually need them at all. Those are there for some of these rams that have a leather backing right there instead of felt. And then if it's leather, then that Velcro doesn't stick, so then you'd have to use these to hook these on and to keep that back flap down. So I'm just taking these underneath, just tucking them on underneath a spring, just to get them out of the way. Now that we have the back on, and the last step here for the backrest is to take these, there's 3 Velcro tabs that need to be pulled together. And that is for the airbag compatibility. So if the airbag ever needs to deploy, it can blow through those. Perfect. Okay, so that's, redo that one. Okay, so that is how you do those Velcro straps right there. And then that's all attached there. So that side's all done. Backrest is done. Now we're just gonna show you how to do the headrest. Now we're working on the driver headrest. Here's the headrest cover for it. The front side is gonna be this hook Velcro right here. The loop Velcro is on the back side, so soft Velcro on the back side, hard Velcro on the front. Okay. And what we're gonna do is just start fitting this around. Now it's gonna be a really tight fit, okay? So what you need to do is you need to make sure you're compressing this headrest as you're getting it over, okay? I'm first just gonna kind of get it started like that, but then what I need to do is push it down like that, okay? As I'm working that over. So I get that started a little bit more, and now I'm gonna pull down this other side. Slowly pulling it down. I get that one a little bit further, and now I'm gonna pull this side down. Now that I have this one pulled all the way down right there, I'm gonna take that bottom flap and just reach that under, pull that out right there, that bottom side flap. This one needs to get pulled down a little bit more. Sometimes what I do too is put it down like this and kind of roll it down. See, I need to get this pulled down a little bit more. So probably need to shift the whole cover around, kind of rotate it that way. Okay, it's getting closer. Not quite there yet. Okay, I got that pulled over. I'm gonna try to rotate it a little bit more still. Okay, that's looking pretty good right there. You can see that, how those are kind of matching up right there. These two now are gonna pull and stick together. Now it's a pretty tight fit, so what you need to do is you just need to really work this. Get that tight, back tight, right there. And then get that front, pull that together right there. Okay, so now there's the front headrest cover. Nice and tight fitting, form fitting around the sides. Back looks good. Okay, so that all looks good right there. Now what we're gonna do is get this and just pop that headrest back in. That's all you need to do, and then we have everything's done on that side. We're on the back seats now, and gonna show you a little bit about these back seats. This is a 60-40 split bench. This is the crew cab with the armrest that folds down. This headrest, the middle headrest is molded on these, so it's a non-removable headrest. armrest, again, folds down, and a 60/40, so it's split right there. You can put your hand in between those sections and fold that up separately. Okay, so that's a little bit about the seat. We're gonna do the 60 backrest first. And to do that, we're gonna need to remove this headrest right here. Now to remove the headrest, what you need, and I just grabbed a pen will work fine. You need to push in, there's a little center piece right there that you need to push in, and that releases the headrest out right there. You can also push the side button down, brings it down like that, and that gets the headrest out. So again, just a little pen, pushing it in right there will release those, okay? Get the headrest out of the way. Now what we're gonna do is get this backrest on. This is probably the more difficult part on this particular install is this backrest, because there's a lot of straps that need to go down to buckles, and it's a little bit of a tight job because this is adhered to the backrest. It doesn't fold down like a lot of Ford crew cabs. So what you need to do is you need to pull this forward. First step is pull that seatbelt forward, okay? A lot of people miss this step. Pull that seatbelt forward. Slide the cover right there, okay? Because so it's not gonna cover your seatbelt. So you got the cover underneath it. And then what we're gonna do, get these straps out of the way. Start fitting this over. Okay, there's that molded headrest section. Tuck that in a little bit right there. Now I'm gonna grab the white plastic tool and just like we did on the front seats, get these headrest posts trimmed out right there. Okay, so you fit that around right there. There's one of them. Now I'm gonna do this one. Okay, perfect. So those are good there. That's gonna just help keep things in place as we're trying to get this all installed here. And now, the best way to do this is to fold the seat up partially as you do this, and then pull this cover down, and I'm gonna push some of that cover down right there. Now you may be wondering, what's this elastic strap for? But this strap and the other strap right there, we're gonna tie them off to each other in the end here. But that's gonna be the last step. So just leave that for now. Okay, now we're gonna reach underneath and just pull that cover through a little bit. There we go. Getting that cover pulled through. There's a couple different sections of that cover that you gotta pull through here. Okay, perfect. So I'm pulling that through right there now. Now what we're gonna do is take these straps up here and start passing them down the back side. Now you'll notice that when this seat is up right here, it creates more space to pass the straps through. So having that seat up and kind of going back and forth with it is important to this part of the install. Now, if you're having difficulty with passing these straps through the back side and you're just like, they're not getting down there to the bottom to where the buckles are, then what you can do is take a rod or a wire, a metal wire, and tape the strap to a rod or a wire and then pass that down and then push it down. That may help to get those through. I have done that before in some tight spot installs. But I think today I'm gonna be fine just passing these down through there. And you wanna make sure there is kind of a casing, kind of a felt casing behind here that's adhered to the back of the cab. And you wanna make sure you're going on the front side of that felt. So just make sure you're going right next to the seat as you're passing this down. Okay, I got most of those straps passed down. Now I'm gonna try to reach underneath and find those straps. Okay, so here's one of them. Just found a strap that I had passed down right there. What I'm gonna do now is take that strap and really before I tighten all these down, I'm gonna find all the straps, make sure I have them all lined up to the proper buckle. Because what you don't want to do is take this strap and go to the wrong buckle and start like crisscrossing them. It's better just have everything going straight down to its appropriate buckle. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Won't film all that section of me just finding these straps underneath, but that's what you need to do is just reach underneath, find the straps, pull them down, line them up to the buckles. Now what I've done is I've found all 6 straps, so I counted them. There's 4 kind of middle straps, and then there's these 2 outside straps right there. So I have them all lined up to their buckles. And now what I'm gonna do is start putting them through the buckles. So again, we're going through that middle slot and then the outside slot like that right there. And then here's this one on the end. Okay, and again, before I really cinch that up tight now, I'm gonna just get everything lined up because it's kind of a tricky angle to get it all tightened up. So I'm just gonna put everything through first. And there's 6 of these, and I made sure that everything's lined up appropriately. Okay, good, perfect. So now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. Oh, whoops, I'm missing one strap. So, let's see, I had one buckle not tucked underneath. Get that buckle pushed through. So I got a rogue strap gotta find. There she is, the rogue strap. Okay, so I'm gonna get this passed down. Okay, that should have passed through now, down there. Okay, so now that you can see that more clearly now, this strap here, yeah, this strap's gonna go to this buckle. So I spoke too soon saying there were 6 straps, and there's 7. So 7 straps, 7 buckles, get them all lined up. All accounted for. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Straps to buckles. Now we're in business. Okay, so next step that we need to do is first I'm gonna make sure that things are looking lined up on the front up here. Here's the sections for the child seat attachments. See these sections coming out right there? Okay, that's what those are right there. There's for the seat belt. Here's for another child seat attachment right there. Making sure that things are looking lined up right there, okay? And that this is getting pulled down enough, so I probably need to pull this down a little bit more right there. So what I'll do is I'll pull that down a little bit more right there. And then what I'm gonna do now, this is the trickiest part of this whole install, okay? Is we're gonna take this and fold the seat down like that, and then I'm gonna reach my arm underneath, because then that opens up space on the back side for my hand to fit up there, okay? And then I can tighten that up right there, okay? So that's what we're gonna do, is start reaching underneath and tighten those up. And again, folding that seat down and kind of laying on the floorboard right there and reaching your arm up underneath and tightening up is really the way to do that. So we're finishing up the 40 section backrest right now. We've pulled it down tight, and when you pull it down tight, it really kind of wraps those buckles around the back side right there. It's pretty far back for your hand to reach. So really the best way to do this is to lay down on the floor of the cab, reach your arm up underneath, and then cinch those up. That's really how I found the best way to do those. Okay. Nice. It's looking really good right there. Nice and tight, snug fit, access for the child seat attachments. Okay, that's the 40 section backrest right there. So there's 2 elastics, one on both sides, and what you need to do is you take those 2 elastics, and what I like doing is taking a string that came, just a little extra string that came off the driver bottom or the driver bottom or passenger bottom, tying the string to one end of the elastic, and going around and then looping it through this other end of the elastic right there, and then tightening that up and then tying it off. And that'll keep those 2 sides where those elastics are just nice and tight on the back side right there. And that's really what you do with those 2 elastics. They tie off to each other, but you just need a little extra string to be able to tie them off. So I usually just get it from the driver passenger seat. We're gonna do the armrest cover now. So this is that fold out armrest right here. And we're gonna take the cover, just fit it open. There's a cutout, so it's real easy to orient this. There's a cutout for the cup holders. I'm going to get that little pull tab through here. Okay, there's the pull tab. Okay, so that's looking nice right there. Now we just need to get this Velcro pushed through the seat. Pulled up and around up here. And once I got that laying flat here, then I can attach this Velcro on. Okay, perfect. That armrest is looking really good. Got that all on. I'm just gonna make sure those corners are laying flat. Tucked in. Now we need to work on these sections right here. And you're gonna want the white trim tool to do that. And we're gonna take the trim tool and push these flaps into that plastic right there. Okay, and so then it finishes out really nice and clean right there. I'm taking this white trim tool and pushing this seat cover fabric up behind into the plastic up there. The tightest places are going to be these two corners right here, right there. There we go, got it in. Okay, so I got that tucked in up there. This one now needs to get pushed in. And there is plastic underneath here that I need to tuck it in underneath as well. Just doing that with my fingers to make sure I feel where it is. Just pushing that fabric underneath. Perfect. Okay, guys, that just finishes out so awesome right there. Love that. Okay, so there's, opens up nice and clean right there on the inside. Everything covered. Man, looks sweet. Okay, so there's a 60 section backrest. The other thing that I'll show you on this 60 section is the headrest. We'll do that. Doing the 60 section headrest right now. I have that removed. We showed you how to remove that already. And what we're gonna do is put the headrest cover on it right there. The headrest cover is gonna have a circle cutout right there for the button. And also you can tell the front, see how this front curves out right there a little bit more? The seat cover will also have that curve in it, curving out a little bit more of an extra fabric piece on the front side right there. Really give it a nice finished fit. So we're gonna slide this guy on. Just like the front headrest, you do have to compress these down a little bit. They're gonna be a tight fit. Okay, you want to line it up so that this circular hole, this cutout right here, lines up with that button. Okay, so it should finish out kind of like that. Okay, so the front should look like that, right there. There's that little extra piece of fabric on the front, and then the back kind of loops up around over those headrest posts just like that, okay? There we go, that's the 60 section headrest. Put that back in. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna do the 60 section bottom. Now we're doing the 60 section bottom. So again, this is a movable 60 section that lifts up like this. And here's the cover for it. We're gonna take this cover and actually lift this up about right there. Just pull this over. Okay, and there's two things of Velcro. This has Velcro right here, and we're just gonna push this down through the seat, and it's just gonna grab onto the felt underneath the seat. And then there's this backside felt, Velcro that goes to the felt. Whoops. Okay. So then, once I got everything looking good here on the front side, I'll take this, stick this down, like that, right there. There's the cutout there for the, I think it's a little bag holder. You can just hang something on that. So that's up right there. And then we're just gonna make sure we get that Velcro, that top Velcro stuck down. What I'll do is I'll just make sure that I reach behind and that's stuck down, and it just sticks down right as soon as you push that through to the back side right there. You can't really see that, but if you need to, you can kind of peel that up and then stick it down again. But this is looking really good. I don't think I need to do that. I might give it another just little, peel this up and stick it down one more time. But pretty much when you're doing that, you just get that nice and tight, and then as you reach through, just gonna stick down right away. not a bad install on that 60 section bottom. That looks nice. Perfect. Okay, sweet. So that 60 section bottom's done. Now the 40 section is going to install the same way as what we did with this 60 section. The 40 bottom is just going to pull over, attached to the Velcro underneath there. And the backrest, same thing. Straps are going to drop down to buckles, cinch those up, and 2 elastics around the outsides. That's really how you put on the 40. Headrest is going to be the same as well. Thanks for watching this install. That wraps it up for the Rebel. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this has been Neil here with Covers and Camo, your source for custom seat covers. You can see more at coversandcamo.com. Thanks.